Hey everybody, welcome to the AI Guide, where we're making AI human. Thanks again for tuning in. We've got great episodes this week, and I really appreciate all my viewers and especially subscribers. Please like, subscribe, and share. We're winding up 2022 now, and as you know, it's really important for channels to get those likes, subscribes, and shares. So thank you so much. Click the links below to get my AI book, The Beginner's Guide to AI, which will give you a quick history of AI and current impact on 10 different industries. Quick read, 2 to 3 hours for the whole book. And also click the other link to get free resources to learn much more about AI than we can do in these short videos. So thank you so much again for tuning in, and let's get into today's episode. So this week on the AI Guide is Good News Week. AI is like every other technology and most things in life. It is, as my grandmother used to say, a double-edged sword. Good and bad. And there's a lot of good that will come out of AI in the world. And this week we have 2 examples. So today we're going to talk about space exploration. Space exploration would be very, very limited without AI. And we've talked extensively about how AI is being used by NASA in probes like OSIRIS-REx, a sample from asteroid Bennu that will arrive on September 24th, I think this coming year. And AI is used for Juno to assist its path around Jupiter and Jupiter's moons. And AI is going to be very heavily used as NASA returns to the moon following the successful Artemis 1 demonstration mission. So the next mission is Artemis 2. That won't be until the end of 2024. But what we do know about the Artemis mission that just completed is that for guidance and navigation, AI was very heavily used. In the Apollo era, the astronauts never got out of view of the lunar lander. Why? Because there were no maps of the moon at that time. They could get lost. The terrain of the moon can be very deceptive. It's not like here on Earth where there's obvious landmarks. And the same can happen now, but that's where AI comes in a positive way. So NASA is developing AI to steer on the moon using landmarks. And while people may not be that good at recognizing landmarks on the moon, especially inside a crater where the entire horizon is the crater rim and you can lose all sense of direction, AI can come to the rescue. So let's check that out. Much like how familiar landmarks can give travelers a sense of direction when their smartphones lose lock on GPS signals, a NASA engineer is teaching a machine to use features on the moon's horizon to navigate across the lunar surface. Great example of a positive use of AI. For safety and science geotagging, it's important for explorers to know exactly where they are as they explore the lunar landscape. So as they take samples, study those samples, either on the moon eventually with a base or later on Earth, it's really important to know exactly where those samples came from. And with our current technology, the distance that astronauts will be able to explore on the moon is going to be much, much greater than during the Apollo era 50 years ago. Right now is when Apollo 17 concluded its journey. Equipping an onboard device with a local map would support any mission, whether robotic or human. So I don't know how many of you guys are aware of this, but NASA initiated a program called the Commercial Lunar Payload Services, where they bid out to private companies sending payloads to the moon. The first of those payloads are going to go roughly March of 2023. And then after that, there will be a very rapid cadence of these missions. So the robots being sent at first will be stationary, but they'll gradually become mobile and collecting samples and perhaps analyzing them remotely on the moon or caching them, just like the Perseverance rover on Mars is just starting to do, for pickup later to be returned to Earth. So they say NASA is currently working with industry and other international agencies to develop a communications and navigation architecture for the moon. So right now, the only way to communicate with people going to the moon is NASA's Deep Space Network, and that doesn't work for the far side of the moon. It doesn't work on the poles, probably. There's numerous instances where current communication technology will not work on the moon. So basically, what NASA is trying to do with industry is create a moon internet. They go on to say explorers in some regions on the lunar surface may require overlapping solutions derived from multiple sources to assure safety should a particular communication signal not be available. So this is high-risk stuff, exploring the moon, right? It's easy to die in the lunar environment, either because you lose air or you have an accident and get hurt or a million different things. So navigation is extremely important, and you need multiple ways to do that, which is called redundancy. It's critical to have dependable backup systems when we're talking about human exploration. The motivation for me was to enable lunar crater exploration where the horizon would just crater rim. So this is Alvin Yu, a scientist at NASA's Goddard Center. So what they're doing is taking data from NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, which has mapped in great detail most of the surface of the moon now, which of course the Apollo astronauts didn't have. And there's a particular instrument called the Lunar Orbiter Laser Altimeter. And what this instrument does is measure slopes, surface roughness, and high-resolution topographic maps of the moon. So what Yu is doing is training an AI to recreate features on the lunar horizon as they would appear to an explorer on the lunar surface using the laser altimeter's digital elevation models. Those digital panoramas can be used to correlate known boulders and ridges with those visible in pictures taken by a rover astronaut, providing accurate location and identification for any region. And this will be a handheld device. So they're saying on the moon you can only see 180 miles unobstructed from any location on the moon, which, by the way, is much further than almost any place on Earth. They need very precise location information. And what better way to do it than AI? So, as we've talked about before, NASA is not only driving AI, but they're driving novel uses of AI to facilitate safe exploration of the moon. The first people on the moon, again, will be Artemis 3, which is supposedly in 2025, but probably not, because we know that the Artemis program is subject to delays sometimes to perfect certain technologies. One of those is going to be Starship's lunar lander from SpaceX, and the other is a modified launch pad. So it'll be later than that. But people are going back to the moon and they need a safe way to explore it, and AI is the answer. And this is a great positive use of AI. So thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Please click those links below and like, subscribe, and share. Take care. Bye.